In July 2025, in California, deaf dancer Amnon Damti and his wife Jill returned as they do every year. Their class welcomes everyone, people without disabilities, as well as those who are deaf, autistic, hyperactive, or facing other challenges. The most distinctive student was Lily. At 18, she looked like a child of 7 or 8. Deaf and battling multiple illnesses, she once danced when her health allowed, but now even standing brought her severe pain. On the first day, she grew restless and left. Days later, she came back, sitting silently in the corner. Then her mother quietly shared her story.
I should know all these signs, but
It's okay.
over 100 surgeries.
Man, ito queen.
Over 100 surgeries since she was little, in state, out of state. She should never have lived. Never. But, hey, look. Hey, the teacher, he said he can show you how to dance with your chair. You want to try? Later.
Later.
Later. Later. Now.
Lily had always refused to try. But with the Damtis, she encountered something new. Their Damti method, based on inclusion and equal communication, opened a door. And with Lily, it began to work.
Really fast. Tomorrow. And you'll have fun. And then he'll spin you around. Yeah.
Broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say no one will love you. It's my skin, the fire away. 'Cause today I won't let the crazy in. We always improve and gain. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for the whole family.
So when people shut down and there's no energy, so I say to someone who connect to cars, it's like the battery of the car is like almost dead, and then you like jump start it and like there's a light comes out, and then things open up and you start to remember who you are, what you want. And then if a person is very depressed and very closed in and we want to help him in some way, first of all, not to push him and think, what am I going to do? What are my goals in 5 years? No, like small step by step right now. Don't start thinking about what happened yesterday and the trauma and the bad things. That's the past. Right now is where you're living. Everybody has a different story. I have my story. My mother sent me to a special kindergarten, but everybody was hearing there. I couldn't find where my place is. When I joined a group of dancers that gave me a lot of inspiration, I suddenly understood who I am. And when he grew up, he had to pass it on to give a lot of other children. It's important to give deaf children or children with different disabilities to grow and to enrich their lives. 7 years ago, we said it for 2 weeks it cost $1,000, and we saw that no one could pay. So we decided that everybody comes on like a scholarship and that's the decision that we made, because we don't want someone not to come because they can't. The center always supported us every year, but this year they can't support us because they're building a new place. In 2 years they're moving. So someone supported our air ticket and someone supported our car, and we're living with my brother right now, but that's all. So many years he always said that there's no limitation, that you can dance and you don't have to feel different. Many years ago, we were invited to University of Gallaudet, which is in Washington, D.C. The principal invited me to do auditions for a group of deaf children. Said, I don't like competition, everybody's coming in. He didn't want to leave anyone out. Esme was deaf and also very smart. She also had CP. So yeah, Amnon said to her, yes, you will dance with us. You'll be on stage. And then I had an idea. You know the doll Piero, the black and white clown crying doll? So I worked with her in a month. It created a really special dance. She could catch on. Her movement looked like her body. She didn't even know that she was disabled. The movement was like this. So in the movement, people didn't know that she was disabled because the movement fit in with the character. So many people have changed their life through the art. One kid that he came from Mexico and he's deaf and has a lot of problems and couldn't relax and couldn't sit and was all the time. And they brought him into our program, and the principal of the school said, no, he's difficult, he has a lot of behavioral problems, don't bring him in. And I said, yeah, he has to come in. Every day there was a change in him. Every single day, like, he started opening up and dancing, and Amnon did a dance with him that had to do with cars, because he likes cars, and polo, and started movement. And at first, I do a relaxation, and deaf people can't close their eyes because they have to watch what's going on. So he would sit like this, and slowly he started to relax. He wasn't like this, and then he even laid down, and then he closed his eyes. And the last day of the showcase, he came in. We didn't recognize him because he looked just like Amnon. He put on glasses and did a ponytail, and he wore all black. What? What's going on? And he changed, like metamorphosed, like a change. So beautiful. And I was going to teach the audience to the word shalom. And he comes up and says, I want to teach them. What? And I'm standing here and looking at him, and I'm crying because he's saying, put your hand here, put your hand here. Saying, breathe, close your eyes. And he's closing his eyes. And then he's showing everybody to do shalom. It's amazing. And he's so relaxed. And his family said that we gave him hope and the whole family hope because he changed so much and he's so relaxed now through the art. That's amazing. We have a lot of different stories like that. And even if we don't mean that to happen, it just happens. And I'll tell you another example and I saw a kid far away, like sitting down, and I saw he has hearing aids. He's also in a wheelchair. And I told his aide, bring him nearby. And he said, no, he can't hear. I said, also, Amnon can't hear. Bring him close so he can feel the vibration. And then everybody was doing like the bar behind. And what I did is because he's in a wheelchair, I just brought a chair to him. I took his hand. I put his hand on the back of the seat. So he's like holding a bar himself, like the other kids. He smiled. He was so happy. Like nothing. He was part of the class from just doing that. And he smiled. And then I saw this beautiful kid with beautiful eyes, and so you could see, so smart, And then he was part of the group. So we brought him into the center in his wheelchair. I said, we'll do a dance. You're like the sunflower. So I told the other kids to hold his hand, and they were holding him like this. I said, no, hold his hand like a person, not like a thing. He was just so happy. And because he doesn't do anything, he can't move. And at the end, when Amnon walked near him, he tried to put his hands together, to do shalom to Amnon. It was amazing.
Michael used all his strength to say that one word of peace to Amnon in Hebrew. It was the last time in his life. 2 weeks later, the child passed away. In the final stretch of his life, the Damti couples class gave him a brief moment to blossom. Jill wrote this little poem and Michael's family translated it into Spanish to be recited for him at his funeral.
Para Michael, cada encuentro trae un destello maravilloso. Detrás de tus ojos llenos de vida hay un mundo que aún no conocemos. Tu sonrisa tiñe mis lágrimas con mi propia sonrisa. Espero que sepas que tu corazón es tan amplio. Shalom. Todos hemos enseñado esta hermosa palabra. Su significado se puede expresar en cualquier idioma. Somos realmente afortunados de conocerte. Eres el centro de nuestra danza.